I'm ElyJoz, and you are now in tune to Mind Clarity. Today we'll be talking about the circle of life. But to start off, we have to talk about what is the circle of life, and then we will get into how does that correlate into everything in life. Because the circle of life is literally God. You feel me? The circle of life is literally the sun, the moon, the atom, and atom is just a small circle. But to start off, what is the circle of life? And like I said, the circle of life is literally God. Like, it's literally creation or creator or the universe, because it represents the sun, the moon, it represents yin and yang, it represents the Fibonacci sequence, it represents anything from creation. And if you know about the Fibonacci sequence, it's literally a small thing that becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just a circle. That's why you hear people say life will come full circle, because everything is like a cycle. The circle of life represents a cycle. It represents that life is a cycle. It's a system. Everything comes back around. And if everything comes back around, that means nothing is actually new. It's just on a different level. The same thing you did a while ago is probably the same thing you're doing now, but it's probably at a different level. And that goes for good and bad. That bad thing you do a while ago, if you keep doing it, it's going to be the same thing, but it's probably at a higher level. The good thing you're doing, you're probably going to be doing the same thing, but at a higher level. That's why you hear people say there's nothing new under the sun. The sun is literally a circle, and the circle of life represents a cycle. The cycle of life, which means there's nothing new. If it's a cycle, that means everything is coming back in rotation. It's just at a different time, at a different level, and it's just a different experience, but it's the same thing. That's why you can do the same thing in life, but get a different experience from it. Because nothing is actually new. Everything you did, somebody already have done. Feel me? You're just adding your own little sauce to it. Or you're just tweaking it to your preference, Nothing new is under the sun. Life is literally a cycle. The same thing you're doing is the same thing your kids is going to be doing. And the same thing your kids is going to be doing is going to be the same thing their kids is going to be doing. It's just at a different level. The same thing we're doing is the same thing our parents did, but we're doing it at a different level. So the circle of life is literally God, or it's literally creation, or it's literally the universe in a sense. Because one of the major prints that the gods left for us is the sun and the moon. And the moon is a circle. The sun is the circle. Regardless if you look at the moon and it's just a little crescent moon or it's half a moon, it's still a full circle. It just haven't gone all the way around yet, The moon really represents a circle of life because it has cycles. Just because you don't see the full moon, that doesn't mean the full moon is not there. Just because you don't see your end goal in life, that doesn't mean your end goal is not there. You just haven't reached it yet. Or you just haven't reached it to the point where you can see there. But the moon represents the circle of life in a more physical form because it has cycles, it has phases. There's literally a new moon. Like when there's a new moon in the sky, you see nothing, which means it starts from 0. Then it goes to 5%, then it goes to 10%, then it goes to 15%, then it goes to 20%, and it goes on and on until it gets to 100%, which is a full moon. The moon really represents the cycle of life, or it really gives us a more physical approach of how does life work. Life is always in a cycle, it's always in phases, Just because you're doing bad in this phase, that doesn't mean you're going to be doing bad in the next phase. Just because this part of the cycle of your life is going bad, that doesn't mean the next part of the cycle in your life is going to be bad. It's really all up to you and how you take things and how you go about things in your life. Because just because the moon is 0% today, tomorrow is going to be 5%. The next day is going to be 10%. The next day is going to be, you feel me? And when it reaches 100%, it goes back down from 100% to 95% to 85% to set, like it goes back down, which means it's literally a cycle. It goes up, it goes down. That's literally the circle of life. The circle of life represents the cycle of life. And it represents that life is always changing, life is always evolving, life is always moving. The circle of life represents God, the universe, the creator. Like I said, the sun, the moon is a circle. The Fibonacci sequence that creates everything in life, the spiral that's behind me, is actually Fibonacci sequences, and you can see that each edge looks like a circle. the circle of life, the circle of creation. The circle of life represents wholeness. It represents timeless. It represents infinity. The infinity sign is literally a circle, and you just twist it, which becomes two circles. It's literally one circle, but if you twist a circle, it becomes two circles, and it never ends. It just keeps going on and on. A circle at this end, a circle at this end. The Fibonacci sequence, it goes on and on. It starts right here, and it goes one circle, two circle, three circle, four circle. You get what I'm saying? Like, the circle of life is in everything. So understanding the circle of life will help you out mentally, spiritually, and physically. You know, it will actually help you out a lot mentally, because you could be in a bad cycle, or you could be in a bad phase, but if you understand that life always comes back full circle, you understand that this bad phase that you're in, or that bad cycle that you're in right now, is gonna pass. It's gonna pass, and something better will come if you have the mindset to attract something better. But if you feel like you're stuck in this negative state, or this negative phase, and every phase after this is gonna be very negative, then every phase after that is going to be very negative, just because you input that in the universe. The circle of life represents wholeness. The sun is whole. The moon is whole. Regardless if you don't see the whole thing is always in the sky. You just can't perceive it, you know. But the whole thing is always there. Your end goal is always there. The goals you want to achieve is always there. And you just have to go through the cycles. You just have to go through the phases. The circle of life represents timelessness, which means time doesn't dictate how the circle moves. The circle moves regardless. The sun is going to shine regardless. It wakes up at the same time and it goes down at the same time, regardless of what the day is, how the weather is. You know, just because it's cloudy and it's raining, that doesn't mean the sun is not shining above that cloud. You know, as we were younger, you would think that the sun is not up because it's raining. But in reality, the sun is shining hard. It's just that cloud is blocking it. The sun is still shining. That's why I said the circle of life represents timelessness. Regardless of the moon, regardless of the day, it's going to come up. Regardless, even if it's a new moon. Like, you would think that 0% is nothing, 0% is something. The moon shows you the 0% is something, because the new moon is very significant, the full moon is very significant. You know, the new moon is more significant than the full moon, and it's crazy. That's why you can hear people say that, you know, when you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. When you're starting at 0, you have everything to gain. That's why the new moon is more significant than the full moon. The new moon represents new things. You acquiring new things, or you starting new things, or new energy. The full moon represents you letting go of things. Because once it goes from the full moon, it goes back down to the new moon. It doesn't keep going from 100% to 110 to 120. No, it goes back down to 0. That's why you hear people say that on your journey to success, you will have a lot of ups and downs, because that's a circle of life. If you start right here and you go down, you're going to go up. And that's why you hear people say, what goes up must come down. The circle of life, it's a cycle. Everything is always in rotation. Everything is always happening. There's nothing new happening. You're just on a different level. You could do the same thing and have a different experience, because there's nothing new. It's just a new day. Just because you do the same thing on a new day, that doesn't mean you're going to get the same experience. And that's why sometimes when you try to do the same thing and get the same experience, you don't get it, and you feel like, damn, last time I did this, I felt great. Why am I feeling like this? Because you're not going to get the same experience. You can do the same thing, but you're not going to get the same experience. Trust me. There's always something new, and it's a never-ending cycle. You know, just because the cycle is never ending, that doesn't mean it's the same thing. It's always new. Mother Earth and the universe is always throwing out the old and bringing in the new. But it sticks to the same cycle. It sticks to the same circle. I mean, just because it's going in a circle in the same rotation, that doesn't mean it's the same. It's just doing the same thing on a different level. That's why you hear people say you have to be fully aligned to reach your goals, or to reach your destiny, or to live out your purpose or your passion. Because if you are fully aligned, you're fully in that circle of life, and you're okay with it. You feel me? I'm not saying you being aligned, you're going to love it. Sometimes we do things we don't want to do, but we have to do it to remain aligned. And that's how the sun is. That's how the moon is, you know. You don't think the sun and the moon want to take a day off one time? Yeah, they do, but they understand that they have to remain aligned. So they're going to wake up at the same time. They're going to go to sleep at the same time. They're going to rise at the same time. They're going to rest at the same time. Or they're going to set at the same time. So that's why you hear people say you really have to be fully aligned. Because if you are on your journey, and this is your circle, right? And I'm going to break this down to you to make it easier for you to understand. I mean, let's say you're getting a lot of money, but your mindset is not good. Your money is right here, but once you get to the mindset part of your life, that part of your circle is missing. So what happens? It throws you off. Let's say your money is good, your mind is not good, but your body is good. So your circle is good, there's a space right here, your circle is back popping. Let's say you got good hygiene or good whatever, there's different sections in your circle. But you have to be fully aligned for things to work in your favor. And understand that you always have a chance to better that section in your life that's not good. But the longer you take to fix that section, the less impact you're going to make. It's going to take more energy to fix that section if you take longer. So like I said, let's start with money. If you know how to get money, but your mindset is not good, you're going to get money, but your mindset is not good. You might lose some money and you might fall back down a little. And let's say after the mindset, you have a good body. So you're getting money, you don't have a good mindset, but you have a good body. And then you have a good job or you have a good personality. So when you get back to you getting money, if you do not fix your mindset, the space your mindset occupies is just going to get wider and wider and wider. And your circle of life is going to get smaller and smaller and more incomplete. But like I said, everything comes in full circle. So you always have a chance to fix your mindset. You always have a chance to fix that section that's missing. So if you start here and you have a space right here and everything else is good and you don't fix that one, it's going to get bigger and bigger and wider and wider. And what does that do? This section of your life is going to fall into the other sections of your life. If you're not fully aligned with your mindset, it's going to affect your money, which will affect your body, which will affect everything else. You feel me? That's why you really have to be fully aligned. You have to have your circle full. You have to keep your circle full, because if you're not, other sections that's missing will affect the sections that you have. Just because you know how to make a lot of money, that doesn't mean your bad mindset is not going to keep you from losing that money. Just because you make a lot of money, that doesn't mean your money is going to keep your body. You feel me? Everything else correlates. And it's just like school. If you're good at one subject, but you're not good at the other ones, you're not going to graduate. If you have 2 A's and the rest F's, you're not going to graduate. If you have, you understand what I'm saying? If you do not pass all your classes, you do not graduate. If you're not fully aligned, you won't graduate life. You won't get the things out of life that you want. So understand that you really have to be fully aligned in life. You really have to have your circle a full circle. And I'm not saying you're always going to be full, but if you're working on a section that's not full, it'll soon be full, or it'll soon connect. You feel me? Because like I said, if you start off here, your section right here is good, your section right here is good, your section right here is bad, okay, move on. Because life is always moving. So just because when you get to this section at the bottom, your life is bad, that doesn't mean it's going to stay bad. You might move on and your life is good. Your life is good. Your life is good. If you do not work on the bottom section, now the bottom section done got closer to the side. You feel me? But if you did work on it, the gap closes. And you always get another chance to work on it. You always get another chance to better your sections in your life. Your life is broken down into multiple sections. It's up to you how much sections you have in your life, because in a full circle, you can create how many sections you want. You can put an X through a circle how many times you want. You can cut a pizza pie in how many times you want. It's up to you how much sections you have in your life, but you have to understand that all of your sections have to be aligned. And if you realize something is not aligned, work on it, because if you don't work on it, it's going to bleed into the other sections of your life. If you take your money serious, but you don't take your mindset serious, you not taking your mindset serious, is going to bleed into the other sections of your life. Really understand that the circle of life is literally life itself. So if you're not living in full circle, if you're not living in full alignment, then it's only a matter of time that your circle is going to disappear. Because if you have a lot of spaces, if you have a lot of sections in your circle that's missing or that needs to be worked on, and you're not working on it because you feel like you just need money, then it will bleed into everything else. Soon you will be poor because you didn't work on the other sections. You know how to get money, but can you maintain it? You have a good mindset, but do you have a good body? You have a good body, but do you have a good mindset? Do you have a good, everything adds up. Everything coexists. Everything is either helping each other out or damaging each other. I know you heard the saying that it only takes one rotten apple to spoil the whole batch. Literally, that's it. It only takes one bad section of your life to fuck up the whole circle. That's why I said if you do not fix the sections in your life that is bad, it will bleed into the other sections of your life that is good. And it'll mess up your life. Like, for real, for real. Understand that if you're not living in full circle, if you're not living fully aligned and your circle is not full and you're not working on it, I'm not going to say you're always going to have a perfect circle, but you can always work on it and things will always get better. That's why people that's living in full alignment just are living life good, or just live life with ease, or they just live an amazing life, or they live a luxurious life because they are fully aligned. They're living in full circle. They understand that just because they have a lot of money, that doesn't mean they can keep a poor mindset. Just because they have a good mindset, that doesn't mean they can keep a poor body. Just because they have a good body, that doesn't mean they don't need to work on their personality. You feel me? They understand that life is a full circle and everything comes in full circle. Everything affects everything. So really understand and grasp the idea of just because one part of your life is good and the other part is bad, the good is not going to make sure that bad becomes good. You have to make that bad good, you feel me? And the bad will bleed into the good and it will fuck up your whole life. But like I said, nobody's saying you're going to be perfect. Nobody's saying you're always going to have a perfect circle. But you constantly working on it is the most perfection you could make. Like I said, the more you work on it, the closer the gap gets, or the closer it closes, and soon you will have a full circle. Soon you will be living in full alignment. Soon your life will come in full circle. Soon you will realize that things just come out of thin air once you live in alignment. Once you really put yourself in the best position and really work on your circle of life, you will realize that, damn, this thing that I was praying for just popped up in front of me because you're in alignment. And the circle of life represents the universe, or represents God. So the universe knows if you're in fully alignment, or your God knows if you're really fully aligned to what you say you want in life. If you're saying you want something but you're not aligned to it, you're not going to get it because you're just talking. And God can see that. The universe can see that. You really have to live life in a full circle. You really have to understand that everything comes back. If you're good all the way around and right here you get bad, understand that yes, you just messed up, but move on because there's something new. You might be holding on to that messed up thing you just did and you enter a new cycle, but you're still holding on to that fucked up thing you just did, and you're gonna fuck up again. And then you're gonna fuck up again. You're gonna fuck up again. So understand that just because you fucked up right here, that doesn't mean you're gonna fuck up right here unless you fuck up. Just because you did good right here, that don't mean you're going to be doing good right here. You have to keep that good energy. You have to keep that good mindset. Or you have to keep that good drive. But always remember the place you fucked up at. Because once life comes back full circle and you get another opportunity to fix this space, do your best to fix this space. If you go on a rampage of making so much money and then you get a little break to fix your mindset, fix your mindset. If you've been fixing your mindset and you get the opportunity to work on your body, work on your body. You feel me? Whenever you get the opportunity to work on the sections of your life that you created, work on it. Because if you don't, it's going to bleed into the other sections. Another way to understand that life is a full circle is karma. Everything comes back. Just because you did someone wrong right here and you keep living life and your life is going good, it's going great, that doesn't mean karma missed you. Because you just didn't get back to that point yet. So you did someone wrong right here. You living life. You living life. You living life. You living life. You think you good. And then boom, karma hits you. And you're like, damn, I thought I was good. I thought just because I just did that little wrong thing, it wasn't going to come back to me. Nah, everything comes back to you. That's why they say what you put out you get in. The type of energy you put in the world, that's what the world gives you. That's why they say always be positive if you want positive energy back. Because life is a full circle. Everything is in a cycle. Everything comes back in rotation. If you did someone wrong right here and you're living life thinking shit sweet, when you get back right here, karma is going to hit you. If you did a good deed for somebody right here and your life is going bad and you're like, damn, I just did a good deed, maybe I'm not going to get the repercussions of it. Boom, good karma hits you. There's good karma and then there's bad karma. So understand that if you want good things to happen to you, be a good person. If you don't care about the bad things in life, then you could be a bad person. It's up to you. You know, everybody has a free will, but understand that every action comes with a reaction, which also goes into the full circle of life, because you can do an action right here, an action right here, an action right here, an action right here, reaction, 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 reaction. You feel me? Everything you do is like planting seeds in the universe, and everything grows, everything evolves, everything is always moving. So if you plant a bad seed, you will get a bad tree. If you do some bad deeds, you're going to get bad karma. If you do good deeds, you're going to get good karma. If you treat people kind, the universe will treat you kind. You feel me? You get the energy you put out into this world, or into the universe, or into the cosmosis, however you want to call it. Whatever energy you put out, you receive. So that's why people say always give good energy if you want good energy back. And just because you treated someone good and they treated you poorly, that doesn't mean your good deeds or your good energy is going unnoticed. The universe sees that. The circle of life, which represents God, and the universe sees that. You know, they're going to get their karma. You're going to get your good karma. You feel me? And the circle of life is so embedded in life that, like, let's say you're down bad and someone comes along and it helps you put on your feet. If you do not help the next person, you're going to go back to being down bad. There's a saying that goes, help yourself to the point where you can help others. But if you don't help the others, you're going to go back to the person that need help. If you're at the bottom and someone helps you reach to the top, and someone at the bottom is like, hey, can you help me reach to the top? Or can you help me rise a little bit? And you're like, no. Soon you will be back at the same level as the person you just told no. And I'm not saying help everybody, but there's certain people that God sent into your life to help you. And there's certain people that God sent into your life for you to help. But the people that help you is going to help you because they understand that if they don't help you, then it might go wrong. But you have to understand that if you don't help the next person, you're going to go back to being the person that needs help. That's why they say, help yourself to the point where you can help others. But if you don't help the others that comes, you're going to go back to being the person that need help. Which just means that God is going to send people to help you in your life. But when God sends people for you to help, if you do not help them, you're going to go back to being the person that needs help. Everything comes back. Everything is a cycle. Everything is rotation. Everything is a circle. You really have to be a good person to receive a good life. A lot of people will lie to themselves and be like, they live a good life, so why aren't their life good? You don't. Like, really understand that the universe knows everything. Your God knows everything. So if you feel like you're a good person, but you're not living a good life, you're probably not that much of a good person. Or you're probably not making the good decisions, or you're probably not doing something good. Like, something is wrong. Like, there's a section in your life that's bad, but you feel like just because you're a good person, everything should add up. No, you gotta be a good person. You gotta do good deeds. You gotta do a good this. You gotta do a good that. You gotta do a good this. You gotta, like, everything has to add up to 100%. Because if not, that section that's bad is gonna bleed into the good. And it's to the point where people will only master one section of their life and be like, damn, I treat people good. Why isn't my life good? That's because you're not treating yourself good. You can treat other people good, but if you don't treat yourself good, what help is that going to do? Like, what is that going to do to your life to better your life? You can help other people, but if you don't help yourself, what is that going to do? Nothing. You can have a section that's great, right? But if your other sections are bad, that's not going to do nothing. And soon, your section that is great will eventually be mediocre because the bad sections that you did not fill up or the bad sections that you did not fix is going to bleed into the good sections. So understand that some people feel like they deserve a great life because they treat people good or they do this or they do that, but they don't step back and look at their circle of life and realize, just because I treat people good, that doesn't mean that's it. There's more things to do. There's more sections in your life that you need to take care of for your life to be good. Just because you treat people good, that doesn't mean your life is going to be good. You have to treat yourself good. You have to treat your business good. You have to treat your mental health good. You have to treat your body good. Like, you have to treat everything good in the same manner for you to receive a good life, because life is a full circle. So for real, if you do not treat life as a full circle, and if you do not understand that everything comes back in full rotation, nothing is new, it's just at a different level or it's in a different experience, you will more than likely not fulfill your destiny, or you will more than likely not achieve your dreams, because you think that just because you have one section in your life figured out, you don't have to figure out the other sections. And yes, it might sound like, damn, I really have to do everything. Yeah, life is... I'm laughing because this is something that I told myself too. Like, in the past, in the beginning of time, it's like, damn, I really have to do everything. Like, I really got to be fully aligned. And it's like, yeah, bro, you really got to be fully aligned if you really want what you say you want. Because you can't master one section of your life and not master the next, because it's going to fuck up all the work you just did. You feel me? If you're putting down nails and you're supposed to put 8 nails down, and you skip number 4 or you skip number 3 and you put the rest, you still have a missing nail, which leaves a possibility of something being unscrewed or something being loose or something falling off. But if you put all 8 nails down, then you're secured. But a lot of people feel like if they have 8 nails to put down, they only have to put 6 nails down. You're leaving 2 nails. You're leaving 2 open gates. You're leaving 2 possibilities of fucking up all the other possibilities. You feel me? It's easier to go down than go up. So it's easier to fuck up than to do good. It's easier to be negative than to be positive. So understand that just because you're doing good in one section, that doesn't mean all the other sections is going to be doing good too. You have to do good in every section of your life. You have to be fully aligned. You have to be open to helping people once you get to a point where you can help people. You feel me? That's why you see a lot of millionaires, a lot of people with money, they donate to charity or they try to help other people in however way they can, because they understand that if they do not help people, if they do not fix that section of their circle, then it's going to bleed into other sections. If you're a dickhead and you don't want to help nobody, the universe will put you back in your position where you need help. And when you try to receive help from people, you're going to be meeting people that was the same dickhead that you was. And you're going to be like, damn, is this karma? Yes. Yes, this is karma. You didn't do the right things when it was time, so now you're going to receive the wrong things. So that's why the circle of life is very meaningful. The circle of life really represents God. It represents the universe. It represents creation. It represents wholeness. It represents timelessness. It represents infinity. It represents karma. And always remember that there's good karma and there's bad karma. So the good things you're doing in life, it's not going unnoticed. The universe sees that. Your God sees that. Your creator sees that. You will receive the benefits of your good deeds, regardless if it's towards negative people. You just have to be fully alignment to receive your blessings. Like, imagine if you're doing good in one section and there's a blessing waiting on you right here in this section, right? But this section needs to be fixed for you to receive that blessing. So you're doing good in this section, you're moving on. This is the section you did not work on, which means you missed out on a blessing. You missed out on an opportunity. There's opportunities in each section. If you do not fix your sections, you will not receive that opportunity. There's blessings in each section of your life, which means if you do not fix that section, you will not receive that blessing. I'm ElyJoz. I'm grateful you allowed me to clear a part of your brain today. Peace and prosperity to you all. I'm out.